Hey, good morning. Good morning. It's early Saturday morning, and I know some of you guys are still asleep. And I'm up. I've been up since I think like 4:12, something around 4 o'clock clockish this morning. I'm just an early bird by nature, just an early bird by nature, and it's now what 6:55 a.m. And I know you guys are tired from the previous week, trying to get your extra Z's in. And I get it. I get it. I totally get it. But like I said, I'm just a morning person by nature. Body just automatically just gets up and ready to go, ready to go. But I wanted to talk a little bit about, waiting. Be still, just be still and wait. I went to a women's prayer conference last night. I wasn't going to go. One of my coworkers had invited me, and at the last minute, I'm like, I'm not going. It's so cold outside. And I just started coming up with all these excuses in my head. But at the last minute, I'm like, I'm going to go. My husband's like, you're going? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go. And I did. And I'm glad I went because you know what? There's nothing like corporate prayer. Corporate prayer and being around a lot of women, and we all have the same mission. And when I say that, going before the throne, going before the throne of God, and praying on the behalf of our families, our nations, our loved ones, our husbands, our children, health, future endeavors, all of those different things. And we weren't there all night. I mean, it started at 6:30. I was back home by 8 o'clock. Yeah, I was back home by 8. So they just went straight in. I had never visited that church before, and it was a blessing. And the real blessing, hey, good morning, Jay. And the real blessing I got was my nephew's mother was there. I had no idea she was going to be there, and she led us in prayer. Yeah, so it was just a blessing. But I'm going to read this scripture that came to me this morning. Well, it just didn't come to me, but it's on the topic, and it comes from Psalms 46, verse 10, and it says, He says, Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. Sometimes we are dealing with different situations and we want to make rash decisions when we need to just fall back and just wait. We need to fall back and wait. Maybe you're trying to make a decision on a relationship. Should you stay? Should you go? And I'm specifically talking to married people, because we can get in our feelings so quick and, we bet our eyes and we're like, I'm leaving. I'm done. No, you take that thing to God. You take that to God. That is your covenant. You said you were going in covenant with this individual. And sometimes we got to learn how to be vulnerable and put pride to the side and learn how to stand. You have to learn how to stand in those situations when it gets hard, when it gets challenging. You have to understand it's not going to be easy being married to someone. That is not easy. You have your challenges, and then you got to remember you have your moments of bliss where everything is just snow cones and ice cream and all that good stuff, but you got to be able to go through the storms as well. So I don't know what the situation you might be going through, but I just want to say wait, wait, wait. Don't be so quick to listen to what other people are saying. One thing my mom taught me real early in life was don't go by what other people say. They will always tell you what they would do. But if they're not in your shoes, they can't tell you. Yeah, they can't tell you. That is so true. Sometimes making a decision off emotions. That's right, Jay. Off emotions. And we get in our flesh. We start feeling some type of way. We start feeling like you didn't hear me. You didn't hear what I was trying to say. So the best thing for me to do is part ways. But guess what? When you part ways with somebody and then you have to start all over again, you're going to go through that same task with the next individual, but only you know your situation. Only you know your situation. That's why I say, take it to God, take it to God, Um, Something was really on me this morning around one of my books. I wasn't really pleased with it. And I was like, Lord, what am I going to do about this situation? And I just been it's been weeks too. And I talked about it in one of my videos about the illustrator I had some difficulties with. And I just wasn't happy with the results. And I'm like, okay, I spent my money. What can I do with this? What am I going to do with this? And God revealed to me, contact this person and get their insight on it. And she's been very helpful with me. And sometimes we don't want to keep going back to people because, we feel like we're bothering people. But then sometimes people are just right there ready to assist, So listen to what God is telling you to do, how he's instructing you, the path he's trying to tell you to go down for what you need to do. Whatever, the life changes or the situations you might be going through. Wait, just don't make a rash decision. Wait, seek God's guidance, hear from him. He will talk directly to you. And sometimes he'll confirm it through somebody else, but it came from that initial conversation from you that you were having with him. God isn't just going to go tell somebody to tell you to do something. No, he's going to tell you first, and then he may confirm it through somebody else. Or you might be reading a verse, or you could be reading a book, or you could see something on TV, and it'll resonate with the conversation you were having with God. And you know what you'll say, oh, this is the answer I was looking for. But see, it started with you and him. So I just tell people all the time, be careful of following, what people's advice, because you don't know people, just like you don't know me. But what I'm doing is directing you back to him. I'm not telling you to do something I say, because I don't know. I be trying to figure out my own life, okay? I'm trying to figure out my own life, so who am I to tell you what to do? So my thing is, every time I get on YouTube or anything, or even just talking to people in regular conversation, I always direct them back to God. I always direct them back to prayer, because I don't know. I don't know. You know, yeah, but I will talk from lessons learned and experiences. I will talk about, some things that maybe I have encountered that could probably help a person out. But just to tell somebody, oh, do this, do that, or all that kind of stuff. No, I got a video coming up about hopefully I'm going to get a lot of comments. Hopefully I'm going to get a lot of comments about this, because it's just been kind of bothering me that I keep seeing all these titles out here about, quit and do this, and, quit, you don't have to work. And the word of God tells us, if you don't work, you don't eat. You don't eat unless you have somebody else in your household, and you're the person who just stays home and take care of the home, and you're still working. And that's just it. You are still working. But I don't like this new concept that is out here that is, telling people, guiding people into not working. That is not good. I that bothers me. That really bothers me, because in order to take care of ourselves, have our necessities met, and also even to go into the overflow, we got to have currency. We just can't walk in the store and say, okay, I'm here to get X, Y, and Z, but I don't work. You got to pay for stuff. So it kind of does something to me when I see all these titles about not working. And maybe I'm taking it the wrong way, and maybe I'm interpreting it the wrong way. And I'm really looking forward to getting a lot of some comments and dialogue. I want to hear what other people are thinking about that. But yeah, that's why I tell people, wait before you quit your job. Wait before you walk away from your marriage. Wait before you dust off your hands from that child. That child might be cutting up or been wayward, got out on drugs or whatever, but that is your baby. Don't let somebody tell you to quit, caring for your child, believing in your child that your child can make a turnaround. Your child can make a turnaround. Your child can turn around. It's never too late. It is never too late. God is always working in the background. We can't see it. We don't know what's happening on the other end. That's why we have to continue to believe. We have to continue to believe and to trust. It's so easy for us to go out here and trust people, what people tell us to do, but we don't trust God. Why we don't trust God? He created the heavens and the earth. He he created the stars, the moon, the sky. He did all of these things. He parted the Red Sea so the people could walk over. That wasn't enough for us to believe. That wasn't enough for us to believe. He worked all kind of miracles. The woman with the issue of blood who had this health issue for years and years and years, and she spent all her money, everything she had. But guess what happened? She touched the hem of his garment. She had enough faith that she touched the hem of his garment, and what happened? She was made whole immediately. Immediately. But we are so quick to believe all these schemes where we have to go broke. We've taken years to, save up money, and it can just take one person to come in and get in our ears, and we believe that person, and we go to our account and withdraw all of our money. I watched this show called American Greed. Y'all, I watch it faithfully, and it never cease to amaze me how we can be so gullible. We can be so gullible. And this one case that really comes to mind is this young man. He grew up in a rural area, very small town. Very smart young man, and he got into accounting. Well, he as he grew, he decided to leave the that town, and he went into the big city, and he got a corporate job, and he got into investments. And he was doing pretty well for himself. Well, of course, the people in his town saw how well he was doing, and he was like, hey, if you give me your money, I can turn your money around for you. I can get you 8%, 15%, 25%. Then he went to the point that he was like, oh, I can get you 50%, return on your money within 6 to 9 months, 6 months to a year. So some of these people, like I said, they had seen him as a little boy. They trusted him. And some people, they gave him 10,000, some gave 50. One lady gave, I think, like $125,000. And he was like, okay, I'm going to take this and I'm going to turn this money over for you. And he would send them statements. And they could see the increments where their money was growing. But what they didn't realize is what he was sending were fake statements. These were statements he was making up himself, and he was mailing them out. He had gotten so good at his craft, and what he was doing, he was taking their money, and what was he doing? He was living high on the hog. He was living in a mansion. He had 5, 6 cars. He had yachts. And he just deceived these people. And it started out as something so small, and how it just shows how greed can take us over. And even with them, they believe something so, I don't know if I want to even use the word gullible, but you have to sometimes logic, common sense. What is it? Common sense. Sometimes your common sense should just kick in and say, okay, what are the chances of me getting a 50% return on my money? Where they do that at? Where? What type of research had they done? And that's another thing. We see all this stuff out here on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Are we doing our research? Or are we just, running behind what we're seeing and what we're hearing? Because it's a lot of trends going on. It's a lot of trends. And people need to really look up the word trend and see what that means. It's just that it's a trend. It's only going to, work for a certain amount of time if it works. And for some people, that 1%, it does work. That person may blow up. I've seen what people say they've made $15,000, with one video. One video. I was talking to one of my coworkers, and I put this in my video the other day. He had a government contract, and he made $25,000 in 2 days. In 2 days. So somebody else will hear that and say, "Oh, I'm going to do this too." But you don't know what he did to get there. And that's just it. Sometimes people don't give you their entire formula. And sometimes it's just for that person. And I'm a firm believer, what God has for me is for me. And I'm a firm believer in this. If God has told me to do something and move forward with it, it may not be easy, but it's not going to take everything I have away from me. I just don't believe I got to go broke in order to see the substance come through, to see the fruit. I just don't believe that. I don't believe that I have to go homeless. If I am linked up to the vine, which is God, He's not going to, no, He's going to give me step by step. He's going to tell me, okay, go get in class. And some of this stuff is just logic. Some of this stuff is logic. We just got to use our common sense. Go take a marketing class, something I didn't do with my books. That's why I was having and still, in the midst of having some complications with my children's book line, but that's okay. No regrets, lessons learned. Lessons learned. We have to learn the lesson. What did you learn through this deed? What happened? What did you learn? A lot of times we don't try to take the time to learn the lesson because why? We want it so fast. We want it so quick. That overnight success only happens for a small percentage of people. Not saying overnight success can't happen, but what is the percentage of that occurring? That's why I want people to go back and research, pray on this thing, take it to God, fast, you know. Um, God, show me the outline you have for my life, for my business, for my YouTube channel, for my household, for my family, for my marriage. God, show me, tell me, what would you have me to do in this situation, God? I know you gave this to me. I know you gave this to me, God. So I'm going to hold tight. I'm going to hold fast to it. But I need you to show me. Show me, God. How can I incorporate this? How can I generate revenue? My desire is to generate a certain amount of revenue monthly for my family. And not just for my family. I want to be in abundance so I can help other people. It's just not always about me. It's not just about me and my household. What is the bigger picture? What is the bigger picture? That's what I'm saying. Be still. Be still. Don't be so quick. Don't be so hasty. Don't always have to jump and be the first in line. Funny story. I tell my husband, me and my husband, when we were going out of town, he put his foot down on that gas pedal. You hear me? It is down. Sometimes I just turn my head because I'm like, Lord Jesus, right now, Lord. And I'm like, slow down. And I'm like, why do you have to be first in line? Why? When you're driving, why do you have to be the first one? Why? We don't have to be to the hotel until 4 o'clock. We can't get in until 4 o'clock. The room is not prepared until 4 o'clock. Why you got to be first? They don't belong in the fast lane. They need to be in the slow lane, just like you. Stay in the slow lane. But I think a lot of men, they drive, and you have some women that drive fast drivers. Me, I'm in the middle lane. Most of the time, I'm in the slow lane because I like to drive the regular speed limit, especially when it's raining. No, 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 no. So I can't even imagine when it's snowing right now. I can't even imagine. And I'm from Florida, so I don't know what y'all going through with that snow. But yeah, we got to learn how to slow down. Let that thing simmer. It's like a pot roast, you know. You don't want your pot roast cooked in 15 minutes. Mm-mm. No, you don't want that pot roast. You want that pot roast tender. You want all those ingredients where you know cut up your onions, your bell peppers. You know you got all your seasoning there, your garlic. You know you got your potatoes, your carrots. You want all that stuff to simmer together and just yeah. And when you get it, it's good, and you can tear it apart, and it just oh child. And then you go and you dip your cornbread in there with some yellow rice. But you can't get that if you put it in the microwave. You can't. You cannot get that. Yeah, you cannot. Jay, what you say? It's cold up here. Well, you in the ATL, right? Yeah. So I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. Is it snowing? What's the temperature? Right now here is 28 now. I just it's 28 here. So you know I won't be going outside. Yeah, I told my I'm gonna be putting on a walking video, and I'm gonna be walking away the pounds right here in my house. And it's a young lady that I like to watch too. She does this gospel rap um video. She be getting it in too. I can't keep up with her, but I be trying my best. But yeah, so 24 degrees. But yeah, your 24 is different from ours. So it's even colder. It feels different because of humidity. Everything is different. We're in different parts, you know, of the state. So yeah. So absolutely. So I just wanted to get on, and hopefully this is going to be helpful to someone, just to go back and slow down and just wait on God. Wait on God. Make sure that you are really hearing from him. This is the answer that he is giving you. This is the path that you are to go down. And yeah, and get you some scriptures and stand on them. And I tell people, you know, take 10 minutes in the morning before you start your day to command your day with God. You know, pray throughout your day. You know, we're all busy. We all have agendas. I'm not walking around with my Bible open 24/7 giving out a word, and it's so funny. People think that's what you do. No, life be lifing. I'm just like anybody else, you know. I laugh, I have fun, I have a great time. You know, I have life challenges just like anybody else. But I know in order for me to live the life that God has for me, I got to stay connected to Him. I got to stay connected to Him. You got to stay connected to Him. And if we do that, you know, things are going to be fine. We're going to have challenges. We're going to have trials and tribulations. It's in the Word of God. We're going to have that. But guess what? He will give us peace. He will give us joy. He will give us the know-how to get over those hurdles. We will be okay. We will be okay. Okay, guys, I'm going to end this live. I appreciate you guys for coming in, chatting with me. And I just pray that you have a great weekend. Get some rest, laugh, stay warm. Have something good to eat too. Have something good to eat. So, all right, guys, take care. And until next time, continue to grow and glow in the Lord. All right. Love you guys much. Bye. You're welcome. Bye.